ever wanted to open your mouth and speak English smoothly, naturally, and with confidence, but something inside you just stops you? Maybe you know the words. Maybe you understand what people are saying. But when it's your turn to speak, your mind goes blank. You start to worry. What if I say it wrong? What if they don't understand me? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, I'll help you change that. Welcome to Ms. Fluent English, where you learn to speak English confidently, naturally, and with real emotion. I'm so glad you're here. This is your safe space to practice, to make mistakes, and to grow. If you truly want to become fluent and sound confident when you speak English, you're in the right place. Before we begin, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Ms. Fluent English, and leave a comment to tell me what makes you nervous when you speak English. I really want to know, because in this series, we'll work on overcoming that together. Now, take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. Good. Relax your shoulders. Feel calm and ready. Because speaking English confidently starts not with perfect grammar, but with a relaxed and positive mindset. Confidence is not about knowing every word, it's about believing that your voice matters. Let's start small. I'll give you a few short, powerful sentences that you can repeat after me. These are simple, but they help you train your voice, rhythm, and confidence. Ready? Repeat after me. I can speak English clearly. Again, I can speak English clearly. One more time. I can speak English clearly. Now let's try another. My English is improving every day. Again, my English is improving every day. One last time. My English is improving every day. Good job. When you speak these sentences, don't just repeat them mechanically. Feel them, believe them. Confidence is energy, it comes from inside you. Let's go deeper. Speaking English fluently is not just about vocabulary, it's about connection. So, I'll teach you a few everyday expressions that native speakers use naturally. These expressions will make your English sound more confident and real. Here's the first one. That sounds great. We use this when we agree or feel positive about something. For example, a friend says, "Let's grab coffee tomorrow." You say, "That sounds great." It's short, friendly, and natural. Repeat after me. That sounds great. Again. That sounds great. Here's another one. I'm not sure, but I'll try. This is what confident people say when they don't know everything, but they're willing to learn. Repeat after me. I'm not sure, but I'll try. One more time. I'm not sure, but I'll try. Do you feel that difference? Instead of saying, I don't know, you're saying, I'll try. That's confidence. Here's another simple one. I can handle it. When something feels difficult, tell yourself, I can handle it. Say it with me. I can handle it. Again, louder. I can handle it. Good. These small sentences are powerful because they train your mind and your voice to stay positive and strong. Now, let's practice using them in a short real-life situation. Imagine this. You're at work, and your manager says, Can you give a short presentation tomorrow? You feel nervous, but you take a breath and say, I'm not sure, but I'll try. The next day, you do your best. After the presentation, your manager says, that was good. You smile and reply, thank you. That sounds great. See how natural that sounds? You didn't need difficult vocabulary. You just needed confidence, tone, and rhythm. Now let's practice pronunciation. Many learners speak softly when they're unsure. But to sound confident, you need to speak clearly, with energy in your voice. So let's work on stress and tone. Repeat after me slowly. I can do this. Now say it faster, like you really mean it. I can do this. Once more with energy. I can do this. Good. You can already feel the change in your voice. The more you practice speaking out loud, the stronger your confidence becomes. Here's a tip. When you speak English, imagine you are telling a story to a friend, not performing in front of a crowd. The best English speakers sound relaxed, not perfect. They make small mistakes, but they keep going. That's what fluency really means, flow, not perfection. Let's try a small confidence conversation. I'll say both parts, and you can repeat after me. A. Hey, how are you today? B. I'm doing great, thanks. How about you? A. I'm good, just a bit busy. B. I know that feeling, but I can handle it. Now it's your turn. Replay this part and shadow the conversation with me. Try to match my tone, rhythm, and pauses. This is how you train your brain to think and speak like a native speaker. Speaking confidently doesn't happen in one day. It happens every time you open your mouth and try. Even when you make mistakes, even when you feel shy every time you try, you're training your confidence muscle. Let's practice a few motivational lines together. Repeat after me. Confidence is my choice. My voice is strong. I speak English with courage. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I'm learning every single day. Perfect. You're doing amazing. Now, let's talk about one common mistake learners make. Many students think they need to memorize long sentences before they can speak. But native speakers use short, simple phrases all the time. The secret is not in length, it's in clarity and tone. So, next time someone asks you something simple, try answering naturally. For example, how was your day? You can say, it was good, or pretty nice, thanks. If someone says, do you understand? You can say, yeah, I got it, or I think so. These phrases sound natural, friendly, and confident. Now I want you to practice this small challenge. Pick one English sentence you learned today, record yourself saying it, and listen to your voice. Notice how it sounds. Do you sound shy or confident? Try again with more energy and clarity. You'll be surprised at how much your voice can change when you focus on confidence. And remember, every English speaker you admire started where you are. They made mistakes, they felt nervous, but they kept speaking. That's what makes them fluent. So, keep going. You're doing wonderfully. And in the next part, We'll go even deeper into how to sound natural when you speak, how to use tone, emotion, and rhythm to make your English sound alive. I'm so proud of you for coming back for part 2. That means you're serious about improving your English and becoming a confident speaker. Remember, confidence doesn't grow overnight. It grows every time you listen, repeat, and practice. So today, we're going to take what we learned in part 1 and go a little deeper. We'll focus on sounding natural, emotional, and fluent when you speak English. Now, take a moment, sit comfortably, relax your shoulders, unclench your jaw, and take a slow, deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Feel that? You're getting ready to speak clearly and confidently. When your body is calm, your voice becomes stronger. Let's begin with a quick reminder. In part 1, we learned some simple, powerful sentences to build your confidence, like I can speak English clearly and I can handle it. Let's warm up by repeating a few of them again, because repetition is how we train fluency. Ready? Repeat after me. I can speak English clearly. My English is improving every day. I can handle it. I can do this. Excellent. Feel how natural that's starting to sound? The more you repeat with energy and emotion, the more your confidence grows. Now, let's talk about sounding natural. Many learners speak English correctly, but they still sound unnatural or robotic. Why does that happen? It's because they focus too much on grammar and not enough on tone, rhythm, and flow. English is a musical language. The way you say something often matters more than the exact words. Listen carefully. When native speakers talk, they connect their words together. For example, they don't usually say, "What are you doing?" They say, "What you doing?" or "What were you doing?" It's smoother, faster, and more natural. Let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. What are you doing? Now say it a little faster. What you doing? Now say it naturally. What you doing? Good. You don't have to sound exactly like a native speaker, but practicing these small connections helps your speech sound more fluid and relaxed. Let's try another one. Instead of "How are you?" you might hear "How're ya?" Repeat after me. How're ya? Again. How're ya? Now, imagine this short dialogue. I'll say both parts first, and then you can shadow along with me. A. Hey. How are ya? B. I'm good, thanks. How about you? A. Not bad. Just a busy day. Yeah, I know what you mean. Let's try it together. Replay this part and practice shadowing it. Try to match the rhythm and tone. Notice how the conversation feels light, friendly, and confident. That's what natural English sounds like. Here's something important. When you speak English, don't try to sound perfect. Try to sound alive. Use emotion. Use your voice. English is full of feeling. The way you say something can completely change its meaning. Let's practice emotion through tone. I'll say one short sentence in different ways. You'll hear how the emotion changes. Sentence. Really? If I say it with excitement, really? It means I'm surprised or happy. If I say it slowly, with doubt, really? It means I'm not sure or I don't believe it. If I say it softly, with kindness, really? It means I'm interested or listening. Now it's your turn. Try saying really in these 3 different ways: excited, doubtful, and kind. Go ahead, practice out loud. Good job. You see, confidence isn't just about word sits, about how you use your voice to express feelings. Now, let's practice some everyday expressions that make you sound confident in real situations. I'll explain, give you an example, and you can repeat after me. First one, I totally agree. Use this when you strongly agree with someone. For example, I totally agree. That's a great idea. Repeat after me. I totally agree. Again, I totally agree. Next one, that makes sense. We use this when we understand or accept something. For example, oh, that makes sense now. Repeat after me. That makes sense. Another useful one, I get what you mean. It's a friendly way to say you understand someone. Repeat after me. I get what you mean. Let's try a short conversation using these. A, I think learning by listening is more effective than just reading. Yeah, that makes sense. I totally agree. Repeat that a few times until it feels smooth. Don't just read it, say it like you mean it. Now, let's talk about hesitation. Many learners pause too long or use and too much because they're nervous. That's okay, it's natural. But instead of freezing, learn to use confidence fillers. These are short words or sounds that native speakers use to keep talking smoothly. Here are a few. Well, actually, let me think. For example, well, I think that's a great idea. Actually, I'm not sure. That reminds me of something. Repeat after me. Well, actually, let me think. Good. These small words make your English sound more real and relaxed. Now, let's do a quick speaking challenge. I'll describe a situation and you respond in English. Ready? You're in a meeting and your colleague shares an idea you like. What do you say? Pause. You can say, that makes sense, or I totally agree. Now, your friend asks for your opinion, but you need time to think. What do you say? Pause. You can say, let me think, or, well, I'm not sure yet. Perfect. You're learning to sound natural, even when you need a moment to think. That's what confident speakers do. They don't panic. They keep the flow. Let's end today's practice with some positive affirmations. Say them with me, clearly and slowly. My English sounds more natural every day. I express myself with confidence. I don't need to be perfect to sound good. I can connect with people in English. I believe in my voice. Beautiful. I can hear your confidence growing. You're doing an amazing job following this series. Every time you press play, every time you repeat after me, you're training your brain, your ears, and your voice to work together in English. You're building not just language skills, but confidence. That's something to be proud of. Today, we're going to talk about one of the biggest challenges English learners face, speaking to other people in real situations. Maybe it's talking to a new friend, a teacher, a coworker, or even a stranger. You might know what to say in your head, but when the moment comes, your mouth freezes, right? Don't worry. That's completely normal. Confidence in English comes from one thing: practice in real context. So let's practice right now. Imagine you're meeting someone new. The first few seconds of conversation matter a lot. They help you make a good impression. The secret is to keep it simple, friendly, and natural. Let's try it. Repeat after me. Hi, nice to meet you. Hi, how's it going? Hey, it's great to see you. All of these are natural, easy ways to start a conversation. You don't need complicated words, just warmth and a smile in your voice. Now let's practice a short example. I'll say it first, then you can shadow me. A. Hi, how's it going? Pretty good, thanks. How about you? A. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Simple, right? But very natural. That's how real English sounds in everyday life. Now, let's add a little more. After greeting someone, you might want to continue the conversation. Here are a few natural follow-up questions. So, what have you been up to? How's your day going? Anything exciting happening this week? Let's try one together. A. Hey, how's your day going? B. Not bad, just a bit busy. You? A. Same here, but I can't complain. Now shadow that conversation. Try to match my rhythm and tone. Feel the flow of the conversation. It's friendly, light, and confident. Remember, English conversations are not about perfect grammar, they're about connection. It's about showing interest in the other person and responding naturally. Let's talk about a few simple, confident responses you can use in different situations. When someone compliments you, say, "Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks, I really appreciate that." Or simply, "Thanks, that's so kind of you." Repeat after me. "Thank you. That means a lot. Thanks, I really appreciate that." Good. These are short but powerful. They show confidence and politeness. Now, what about when you don't understand something? Many learners freeze in this moment because they're afraid of asking someone to repeat, but confident speakers do it naturally. They don't feel embarrassed, they just ask politely. Here are some natural ways to do that. Sorry, could you say that again? Could you please repeat that? I didn't catch that. Could you say it one more time? Sorry, what was that? Let's practice. Repeat after me. Sorry, could you say that again? I didn't catch that. Could you repeat that, please? Perfect. You sound polite and natural. Remember, native speakers also ask for repetition all the time. It's completely normal. Now, let's work on speaking naturally when you need to pause or think. Sometimes your brain needs a second to find the right word, right? Instead of staying silent or panicking, use natural fillers. Here are some examples. Well, let me see. That's a good question. Let's practice. A. So, what do you like to do in your free time? B. Let me see. I really enjoy reading and cooking. Now, shadow that sentence. Let me see. I really enjoy reading and cooking. Good. You're learning to keep your speech flowing naturally, even when you need a second to think. Next, let's focus on your tone. The way you say something changes how people feel about you. If your tone is too flat, you might sound bored. If it's too low, people might think you're unsure. But when you speak with energy, you sound confident and friendly. Try this. Repeat after me with energy and a smile in your voice. I'm happy to be here. I'm really enjoying this. It's great to meet you. Now, say them again, but this time with a flat voiceno emotion. Hear the difference? Confidence lives in your tone. So always add a little warmth to your voice. Let's do a confidence building exercise. Imagine you're in a new group of people, maybe at work, at school, or a social event. You don't know anyone, but you want to start a conversation. What can you say? Try this. Hi, I'm your name. I don't think we've met yet. Or, hey, I'm new here. How long have you been part of this group? Repeat after me. Hi, I'm your name. I don't think we've met yet. Hey, I'm new here. How long have you been part of this group? Beautiful. These sentences are simple but show confidence and friendliness. You can use them anywhere in school, at work, at a party, or at a new club. Now, let's practice a short real-life conversation. Shadow me. A. Hi, I'm Anna. I don't think we've met yet. B. Oh, hey, I'm Sam. Nice to meet you. A. Nice to meet you too. How long have you been working here? B. About a year now. What about you? Good. This is the kind of English that helps you connect easily with people. Now, here's your mini fluency challenge for today. I want you to think of one real-life situation where you might use English this week. Maybe it's talking to a colleague, joining a class, or meeting a new friend online. Imagine that situation and practice your greeting and response 3 times out loud. You can even record yourself to hear how you sound. Confidence doesn't come from thinking it, comes from doing. So, the more you practice speaking, the faster you'll sound natural. Before we wrap up this part, let's finish with a few positive affirmations. Repeat after me slowly and clearly. I am becoming more confident in English. I speak clearly and naturally. I can start conversations easily. I enjoy speaking English. My voice matters. Very good. You're building the habits of a confident English speaker. Now, before we move on to part 4, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you usually say when you meet someone new in English? Do you say, "Hi, nice to meet you," or "Hey, how's it going?" Tell me your favorite greeting in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this practice, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Ms. Fwang English for more lessons that help you sound natural, confident, and fluent. You've made it this far, which means you're serious about improving your English fluency, and I'm proud of you for that. Confidence in English isn't built overnight. It's something that grows little by little, every time you practice, every time you speak, every time you make a mistake, and keep going anyway. In this part, we're going to take your English conversation skills to the next level. We'll learn how to keep a conversation going, how to sound more natural, and how to express your ideas clearly and confidently. You'll also get to practice some common expressions that native speakers use every day. So, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and get ready to speak out loud with me. Let's start with something simple. Have you ever had a conversation that just stopped suddenly? Maybe you said something like, "Hi, how are you?" And the other person replied, "Good, thanks." And then silence. You didn't know what to say next. That's completely normal. It happens to almost everyone. The secret to keeping a conversation going is to ask open-ended questions that can't be answered with just yes or no. Let's practice together. Instead of saying, "Did you have a good weekend?" try saying, "What did you do over the weekend?" Instead of asking, "Do you like your job?" say, "What do you like most about your job?" These questions invite the other person to share more, and that gives you something to respond to. Repeat after me. What did you do over the weekend? What do you like most about your job? Where do you usually hang out with your friends? What kind of movies do you enjoy watching? Perfect. These are friendly, natural ways to keep a conversation alive. Now let's look at how to respond in a way that sounds confident and natural. When someone shares something with you, try to show interest. You can use short, supportive expressions like, "Oh, really? That's cool. Wow, that sounds interesting. No way, that happened? Let's practice those together. Repeat after me. Oh, really? That's cool. Wow, that sounds interesting. No way, that happened? Great job." These small reactions make you sound engaged and friendly. They help you connect with people in a real way. Now, let's put this into a real-life example. Shadow me as I read it. A. What did you do over the weekend? B. I went hiking with some friends. A. Oh, really? That sounds fun. Where did you go? B. We went to Blue Mountain. The view was amazing. A. Wow, that sounds beautiful. How long was the hike? Good. You see how the conversation keeps flowing naturally? It's all about curiosity and small reactions that keep the energy alive. Now, let's work on another key part of fluency paraphrasing. This means saying the same thing in a different way. It's a powerful tool when you forget a word or want to sound more natural. For example, if you forget the word delicious, you can say, "It tastes really good." If you can't remember "I'm exhausted," you can say, "I'm really tired. Let's try some together." I'll say a word, and you say the simple version after me. Exhausted, really tired. Complicated, hard to understand. Fantastic, really great. Delicious, really tasty. Perfect. This is a great way to sound fluent even if you don't know every word. Now let's talk about how to express your opinions confidently. Many learners hesitate to share their opinions in English because they're afraid of saying something wrong. But expressing opinions is part of being confident. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be clear and polite. Here are some natural ways to start sharing your opinion. I think, in my opinion, if you ask me, to be honest, repeat after me. I think, in my opinion, if you ask me, to be honest, now let's use these in full sentences. I think learning English online is a great idea. In my opinion, practice is more important than grammar. If you ask me, confidence comes from daily speaking. To be honest, I get nervous when I talk to native speakers. That's perfect. You're not just learning to speak, you're learning to think in English. Now let's practice a short natural dialogue about opinions. Listen and shadow after me. A. Do you think watching movies helps improve English? B. I think it definitely helps. You hear how real people talk. A. Yeah, I agree. It's a fun way to learn new phrases. B. Exactly. Plus, it's not boring like reading a textbook. Good job. You see how natural that sounds? That's how confident conversations happen to people sharing ideas and agreeing or disagreeing politely. Now, sometimes in conversations, you might want to disagree, but politely. Confident speakers don't argue. They express their view respectfully. Let's practice some polite disagreement phrases. Repeat after me. I see your point, but I think, that's true, but maybe, I'm not sure I agree with that. I get what you mean, but in my experience, now let's use them in context. A. I think studying grammar is the most important part of learning English. B. I see your point, but I think speaking practice is more useful. Let's shadow that. I see your point, but I think speaking practice is more useful. Very good. You're learning how to keep conversations calm, confident, and positive even when you don't fully agree. Now let's work on a quick fluency challenge. I'll give you a topic, and I want you to speak for 30 seconds in English. Don't worry about mistakes. Just focus on keeping your words flowing. Your topic is, how do you like to spend your weekends? You can start with, well, on weekends, I usually, or in my free time, I love to. Take a deep breath and start speaking out loud now. Go on. Practice. Great. That's how you build real fluency, by using your voice, not just listening. Now, let's finish with a few confidence affirmations. Repeat after me. I can speak English clearly. I keep conversations going easily. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to communicate. My confidence grows every day. Excellent. You're training your mind and voice to work together. Before we move on, tell me in the comments below, what's one English question you like to use to start a conversation? Maybe, what do you do? Or how was your weekend? I'd love to know your favorite. And if you're finding this podcast helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Ms. Fhuang English, and share it with a friend who wants to speak English confidently too. You're doing an amazing job so far. In this part, we're going to learn how to tell stories naturally, in English just like native speakers do. Being able to tell a story is one of the best ways to connect with people, show emotion, and sound fluent. Whether you're talking about your weekend, a funny situation, or an experience from your past, storytelling makes your English sound more alive and confident. So, let's get started. When you tell a story in English, try to follow this simple structure. Set the scene, say when and where it happened. Describe what happened, talk about the events in order. Add emotions, say how you felt. Finish with a thought or lesson. Let's practice this step by step with an example. Step 1. Set the scene. You can start your story with phrases like, last weekend, a few years ago, when I was in high school, one time I... Repeat after me. Last weekend, a few years ago, when I was in high school, one time I... Good. These phrases immediately tell your listener that a story is coming. Step 2. Describe what happened. Use simple past tense verbs to describe your actions. I woke up early. I met my friends. We went to the park. It started to rain. Notice how short and clear these sentences are. You don't need long, complicated grammar to tell a good story. Just use clear, simple sentences. Step 3. Add emotions. This is where you make your story interesting. Tell people how you felt. I was so excited. I felt nervous. I was a little scared. I couldn't stop laughing. Let's practice saying those with feeling. I was so excited. I felt nervous. I was a little scared. I couldn't stop laughing. Step 4. End with a thought or lesson. You can finish your story with something you learned or a reflection. For me, it was a good lesson. I'll never forget that day. It made me realize how lucky I am. Now I always check before I leave the house. Repeat after me. I'll never forget that day. It made me realize how lucky I am. Now, I always check before I leave the house. Now let's put it all together into one short story. Listen carefully, then shadow with me. Last weekend, I went to the beach with my friends. The weather was perfect, sunny and warm. We played volleyball, swam in the ocean, and took lots of pictures. In the afternoon, something funny happened. I dropped my phone in the sand, and it stopped working. I was so upset at first, but then I started laughing because everyone had sand all over their phones too. It was a great day. I'll never forget it, not because of the broken phone, but because we laughed so much together. Now it's your turn. Think of a short, simple story about your weekend or a funny situation in your life. Use the same structure. Set the scene. Describe what happened. Share emotions. And finish with a thought. You can start like this. One time, I went to... Last month, I tried to... A few years ago, I had a funny experience when... Pause for a moment and say your story out loud. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. Now, let's practice some useful storytelling expressions that make you sound more natural and fluent. Repeat after me. You won't believe what happened. And then suddenly, the next thing I knew, to my surprise, in the end, let's use them in a short story example. You won't believe what happened last weekend. I went to a restaurant, and then suddenly, The lights went out. The next thing I knew, everyone was using their phone lights to see the menu. To my surprise, the staff brought candles to every table. In the end, it turned into a really fun and romantic dinner. That's how native speakers tell stories, with rhythm, emotion, and small connecting phrases that keep the listener interested. Now, let's practice a mini shadowing exercise together. Repeat after me with emotion and natural rhythm. Last weekend, I went hiking with my cousin. The weather was cold, but the view was amazing. We got lost for a little while, and I felt nervous. In the end, we found the right path and laughed about it. It was such a fun adventure. Perfect. You're learning how to tell short, emotional stories that sound natural and confident. Here's a tip. When telling stories in English, don't worry about remembering every word perfectly. Focus on the feeling of the story. Use your tone, your pauses, and your expressions. That's what makes your English alive. You can even practice with your mirror. Look at yourself, smile, and tell a short story every day. The more you do it, the more natural you'll sound. Now, let's end this part with a few confidence affirmations. Repeat after me. I can tell stories in English clearly. My stories make people listen. I express my feelings confidently. I speak English with emotion and energy. Excellent. You're becoming a confident, expressive English speaker. In this part, we're going to take your English to the next level, learning how to sound natural and fluent in real conversations. When you talk to native speakers, fluency isn't just about knowing grammar or vocabulary. It's about how you respond, how you react, and how you keep the conversation flowing. Today, we'll practice exactly that natural, everyday English you can use in real life. Let's begin with something simple. Imagine you're having a casual chat with a friend. How do you keep the conversation going naturally? You can use short, friendly responses like, "Really? That's amazing. No way. I can't believe that. Oh, that's so cool." These are small phrases, but they make your English sound alive. Let's practice them together. Repeat after me. "Really? That's amazing. No way. I can't believe that. Oh, that's so cool. Good. Now, let's use them in short dialogues. Listen and then shadow with me. Example 1. A. I just got a new job. B. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. Example 2. A. I saw Taylor Swift live last night. B. No way, you're so lucky. Example 3. A. I stayed up all night studying. B. Really? You must be so tired today. Notice how these short emotional reactions make the conversation feel friendly and natural. They show that you're listening and interested, and that's what fluency is really about. Now, let's talk about connecting ideas. In natural English, people use small linking phrases to connect thoughts smoothly. Some of the most common are, "Actually, by the way, you know what? To be honest, in my opinion." Repeat after me. "Actually, by the way, you know what? To be honest, in my opinion." Perfect. These little phrases help you sound relaxed and confident. Let's try them in short examples. I was planning to go out, but actually, I stayed home. By the way, have you watched that new movie? You know what? I think you're right. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy the food. In my opinion, that's the best way to learn English. Now, shadow them again with emotion and rhythm. Feel the flow of each sentence. Here's something else fluent speakers do: they react with tone, not just words. In English, we use our voice to show emotion. Listen. That's great. Happy, high tone. Oh no, worried, low tone. Really? Curious, rising tone. Yeah, sure. Calm, falling tone. Tone adds emotion and rhythm. So next time you speak English, think not only about what you say, but also how you say it. Let's try this short rhythm exercise together. That's awesome. Oh no, really? Yeah, sure. Say it again, but this time, exaggerate your tone. Feel how your voice moves up and down naturally. That's the melody of English conversation. Now, let's move to a real conversation example. Listen carefully first, then shadow with me. A. Hey, how was your weekend? B. It was great. I went hiking with my friends. A. Oh really? Where did you go? B. We went to a mountain near the city. It was beautiful. A. That sounds amazing. Did you take pictures? B. Of course. I'll show you later. Now, let's practice shadowing that conversation together. Ready? Go. Repeat the full dialogue slowly, imagining you are both speakers. Excellent. See how natural that sounds? You're not just learning English words, you're learning how to connect with people in English. Here's another important part of sounding confident: showing interest and empathy. When someone tells you something personal, don't just answer with "oh." Use phrases that show emotion and care. For example, that must be hard. I totally understand. I know how that feels. I'm happy for you. That sounds tough. Repeat after me. That must be hard. I totally understand. I know how that feels. I'm happy for you. That sounds tough. These are powerful because they make your English sound human, full of emotion and understanding. Let's try a quick example. A. I failed my driving test again. B. Oh no, that must be hard. But don't worry, you'll get it next time. That's how you build real connection in English, with warmth, empathy, and natural reactions. Now, let's do a shadowing challenge. I'll say short sentences, and you'll repeat after me immediately. Ready? I totally get what you mean. That's so interesting. Tell me more about that. Wow, that's unbelievable. Honestly, I didn't expect that. Good for you. Great. That's exactly how fluent speakers sound. You're not only speaking English, you're feeling it. Let's pause for a quick reflection. Do you notice how, in real conversation, native speakers often speak with emotion, but not perfect grammar? That's because connection matters more than perfection. So, don't worry if your grammar isn't perfect every time. Focus on being clear, expressive, and confident. If you can make someone smile, laugh, or feel understood, you're already speaking great English. Now, let's end this part with a short affirmation practice. Repeat after me. I speak English with confidence. I connect with people easily. My voice sounds natural and expressive. I enjoy speaking English every day. You're doing beautifully. Every time you shadow, every time you speak out loud, you're training your brain and your mouth to move in rhythm with English. And I'm really proud of you. You've practiced pronunciation, tone, rhythm, and emotional connection. Now it's time to go deeper to learn how to keep a real conversation going smoothly, just like a fluent English speaker. Have you ever felt nervous because you didn't know what to say next in English? Maybe someone asked you a question and your mind went blank. Don't worry, that happens to everyone. The good news is, you can learn techniques to keep talking naturally. That's what today's lesson is all about. Let's start with something simple. When someone talks to you, the most natural thing you can do is show interest and ask follow-up questions. In English, we often use short, simple phrases to do that. For example, really? What happened next? That sounds interesting. Can you tell me more? Wow, where was that? Oh, how did you feel about that? That's amazing. Who were you with? These are small, friendly questions that show curiosity. They make people want to keep talking to you. And when you use them, the conversation flows naturally. It doesn't feel forced or awkward. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Really? What happened next? That sounds interesting. Can you tell me more? Wow, where was that? Oh, how did you feel about that? That's amazing. Who were you with? Perfect. You see, fluent English isn't just about speaking long sentences. It's about asking simple, natural questions that keep the other person talking. Now, let's try a short example conversation. Listen first, then shadow with me. A. I went to a music festival last weekend. B. Really? What kind of music was it? A. Mostly rock and pop. It was so loud but so fun. B. That sounds amazing. Who did you go with? A. Just some friends from school. We danced all night. B. Wow, that must have been awesome. Good job. That's how natural conversation feels back and forth, full of emotion, questions, and reactions. Now let's talk about transitioning between topics. In English, when one topic ends, fluent speakers naturally move to another by using linking phrases. Here are some you can use. Speaking of, by the way, that reminds me, actually, now that you mention it, these help you sound smooth and confident. Let's practice them. Repeat after me. Speaking of, by the way, that reminds me, actually, now that you mention it, now let's put them in short examples. Speaking of food, have you tried sushi? By the way, how's your new job going? That reminds me of something funny that happened yesterday. Actually, I've never been to New York. Now that you mention it, I think I saw him yesterday. Let's shadow them one more time, together. Here's a secret about fluent English speakers: they listen as much as they speak. Being confident doesn't mean talking all the time. It means knowing how to listen actively. That means showing that you're interested while the other person speaks. You can do this by using short expressions like, yeah, I see. Right, exactly, totally. Wow. Repeat after me. Yeah, I see. Right, exactly, totally. Wow. These little sounds and words keep the energy of the conversation alive. They show you're paying attention and make your partner feel comfortable. Let's see how that works in action. A, I've been studying English for almost 5 years. B, oh wow, that's a long time. A, yeah, but I feel like I only started improving recently. B, right. That usually happens once you start speaking more. A, exactly. Speaking is the hardest part. B, totally. But you're doing great. That sounds natural, right? Both speakers sound relaxed and connected. That's how you build confidence, one natural exchange at a time. Now, let's talk about showing emotion when you respond. English speakers use their tone, face, and body to express how they feel. You can sound happy, surprised, sad, or even disappointed just by changing your tone. Let's practice with emotion. Say these with feeling. That's amazing. Excited. Oh no. Worried. Really? Curious. I'm so happy for you. Joyful. I totally understand. Empathetic. Now one more time, but this time, exaggerate your emotion a little. When you practice with feeling, you build confidence. You stop worrying about mistakes and start expressing yourself freely. Here's a fun mini speaking challenge. I'll say a situation and you respond with emotion in English. Ready? Your friend got a new job. What do you say? You, that's amazing. Congratulations. Your friend lost their phone. You, oh no, that's terrible. Did you find it? Your classmate passed a big exam. You, wow, good for you. Your friend is feeling sad. You, I'm really sorry. I understand how you feel. Your cousin is getting married. You, that's so exciting. When's the wedding? Beautiful. These reactions show warmth, connection, and confidence, everything a fluent speaker has. Now, let's do a shadowing practice with a natural daily conversation. A. Hey, have you eaten yet? B. Not yet. I was just about to order something. A. Oh, really? What are you thinking of getting? B. Maybe some noodles or a sandwich. I can't decide. A. That's me every day. I spend more time choosing food than eating it. B. Haha, same here. Now shadow it again slowly, paying attention to rhythm and emotion. Then do it one more time at a natural speed. Before we finish this part, let's reflect. Confidence in English doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being present. It's about listening, responding, showing emotion, and keeping the flow. You don't need big words. You just need real connection. When you focus on connection, fluency follows naturally. Let's repeat today's key affirmation. I keep my conversations flowing naturally. I listen actively and respond confidently. I express myself clearly and emotionally. I'm becoming more fluent every single day. Excellent work today. You're not just learning English, you're learning to communicate like a real speaker. And that means your English confidence is growing stronger with every single word. In this part, we're going to focus on something many learners struggle with: expressing opinions naturally. Have you ever wanted to share your thoughts in English but didn't know how to start? Maybe you thought, what if I say it wrong? Or what if my accent sounds strange? Don't worry, we all feel that way at first. Speaking your opinion in English is not about perfection. It's about clarity, respect, and confidence. Let's begin with something simple. In English, we often start opinions with short, easy phrases like these. I think, I believe, in my opinion. If you ask me, to be honest, from my point of view. Now repeat after me slowly. I think, I believe, in my opinion. If you ask me, to be honest, from my point of view. Perfect. These are the building blocks of confident English. You can use them in almost any conversation at work, with friends, or even during small talk. Let's see them in real examples. I think learning English should be fun. I believe practice is more important than grammar rules. In my opinion, confidence is the key to fluency. If you ask me, everyone can become fluent with enough time and effort. To be honest, I still get nervous when speaking sometimes. Do you notice how natural they sound? None of them are complicated. They're simple, direct, and real. Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me with confidence and emotion. I think learning English should be fun. I believe practice is more important than grammar rules. In my opinion, confidence is the key to fluency. If you ask me, everyone can become fluent with enough time and effort. To be honest, I still get nervous when speaking sometimes. Beautiful. You sound more fluent already. Now let's take it a step further, agreeing and disagreeing politely. This is one of the most important skills in English conversation. In many cultures, people avoid disagreement. But in English, it's completely normal to have different opinions as long as you're polite and respectful. Here are some natural ways to agree. I totally agree. You're absolutely right. That's so true. I couldn't agree more. Exactly. Now repeat after me. I totally agree. You're absolutely right. That's so true. I couldn't agree more. Exactly. Good job. Now let's practice how to disagree politely. I see your point, but I understand what you mean, however. That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I agree with that. Actually, I think a little differently. Now your turn. Repeat after me. I see your point, but I understand what you mean, however. That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I agree with that. Actually, I think a little differently. That's it, polite, clear, and confident. You don't need to argue. You just share your view calmly. That's what fluent communication is all about. Let's listen to a short dialogue. A. I think studying grammar is the most important part of learning English. I see your point, but I think speaking practice helps more with fluency. A. That's true. I guess both are important. B. Exactly. It's all about balance. Now shadow this conversation with me. Let's do it slowly. Then repeat it again at a natural speed. See how natural that sounds? Both speakers are expressing opinions clearly, listening respectfully, and keeping the tone friendly. That's how fluent speakers sound. Let's practice a few conversation prompts. I'll ask a question, and you'll answer with your opinion. Ready? What's more important, confidence or accuracy? You. I think confidence is more important because it helps you speak freely. Do you prefer studying alone or with friends? You. In my opinion, studying with friends is more fun and motivating. Should English learners focus on vocabulary or grammar first? You. If you ask me, vocabulary comes first because words help you express yourself. Nice job. The goal is not to be perfect, but to speak naturally and clearly. Now let's learn how to soften your opinion to sound more polite. In English, especially in professional or formal settings, we often use softeners like maybe, perhaps, it seems like, it could be that, I guess. These make your opinion sound gentle and respectful. Let's practice them. Repeat after me. Maybe it's better to start early. Perhaps he didn't mean to say that. It seems like you're really busy today. It could be that the weather will change. I guess learning English takes patience. You sound great. These softeners make your tone friendly and flexible, a key part of fluency. Let's talk about sharing personal stories to express opinions. Fluent English speakers often explain why they think something. For example, I believe learning English is important because it connects people from different countries. I think confidence is the key because I used to be shy, but speaking daily changed everything. To be honest, I used to make a lot of mistakes, but now I just keep going, and that helps me learn faster. Stories make your English more emotional and memorable. So don't just give your opinion, share your experience too. Here's a short speaking challenge for you. After watching this, I want you to record yourself answering this question. What helps you speak English more confidently, practice or motivation? Use the phrases you've learned today. I think, in my opinion, to be honest, I see your point. But then listen to your recording. How do you sound? Do you feel more natural? This kind of self-practice builds fluency faster than anything else. Before we wrap up this part, let's do our daily affirmation. Repeat after me. I express my thoughts clearly and confidently. I listen respectfully and respond with care. I speak English naturally, with emotion and purpose. I am improving every day. Excellent. You're doing amazing work. In Part 9, we'll learn how to stay confident in more challenging conversations, like expressing disagreement, asking for clarification, and keeping calm under pressure. You'll practice real-life examples that will prepare you for advanced fluent communication. And that means you're getting close to mastering real-life fluent communication. In this part, we'll talk about something that happens to every English learner, those difficult conversations where you feel nervous, unsure, or even lost. Maybe someone speaks too fast. Maybe you don't understand a question, or maybe you just can't find the right words in time. It's okay. These moments are part of learning, and you can handle them with calm, confidence, and clarity. Let's begin. First, remember this golden rule. It's okay to pause. When native speakers don't know what to say, they pause too. You don't need to rush. A short pause actually makes you sound more natural. Here are a few simple phrases to give yourself time to think. Let me think for a second. That's a good question. I need a moment to think about that. Well, how can I say this? Let's see. Repeat after me slowly. Let me think for a second. That's a good question. I need a moment to think about that. Well, how can I say this? Let's see. Perfect. These short phrases help you control the moment instead of letting the moment control you. Next, let's practice what to do when you don't understand something. This happens all the time, even to native speakers. The secret is not to panic. Just stay calm and ask politely for clarification. Here are some useful phrases. Sorry, could you say that again? Excuse me, what does that mean? I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain a bit more? Do you mean? Can you repeat that, please? Now shadow me. Ready? Sorry, could you say that again? Excuse me, what does that mean? I'm not sure I understand. Could you explain a bit more? Do you mean, can you repeat that, please? That's it, confident, polite, and natural. Here's a short dialogue for practice. A. So, how do you feel about cross-cultural communication in global markets? B. Sorry. Could you repeat that a little more slowly? A. Sure. How do you feel about people from different cultures working together? B. I see. That's a great topic. I think it helps people learn from each other. You see, there's no need to feel embarrassed. Communication is about understanding, not speed. Now let's talk about expressing disagreement respectfully. Disagreement doesn't have to be stressful. In English, people often discuss, debate, and express different opinions, and that's completely normal. Here are some polite ways to disagree without sounding rude. I understand your point, but I have a different opinion. That's an interesting perspective, but I see it another way. I get what you mean, but I think I respect that, though my view is slightly different. I see things a little differently. Repeat after me. I understand your point, but I have a different opinion. That's an interesting perspective, but I see it another way. I get what you mean, but I think I respect that, though my view is slightly different. I see things a little differently. Beautiful. These expressions help you sound calm, respectful, and professional, just like a fluent speaker. Here's an example conversation. A. I think grammar is the most important part of learning English. B. I see your point, but I think speaking practice builds confidence faster. A. That's true. Maybe both are important. B. Exactly. It's all about balance. Notice how natural that sounds? It's polite, relaxed, and cooperative. Now, what about when someone disagrees with you? How can you stay confident and not take it personally? Here's the secret. Don't focus on being right. Focus on understanding. You can respond calmly with phrases like, I see what you mean. That's an interesting thought. You make a good point. I didn't think about it that way. Thanks for sharing your view. Repeat them with me. I see what you mean. That's an interesting thought. You make a good point. I didn't think about it that way. Thanks for sharing your view. By saying these, you show emotional intelligence, a key part of advanced English fluency. Let's move on to managing your emotions while speaking. When you feel nervous or upset, your voice changes. You might speak too fast, too quietly, or forget words. That's normal, but you can control it with breathing. Here's a simple technique. Before you speak, take a slow, deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Try it now. Breathe in, breathe out. Now say, I can handle this conversation calmly. Good. Your mind listens to your voice, so the calmer you sound, the calmer you feel. Let's practice a real-life scenario together. Imagine this. You're in a group discussion and someone strongly disagrees with your opinion. You can say, I understand your point, but I see it differently. Let's agree to have different opinions. That's what makes discussions interesting. I think both ideas have value. Try repeating those now with a calm, confident tone. Excellent. That's how you handle challenges like a fluent communicator with respect, grace, and clarity. Now let's practice asking for clarification politely during a conversation. You can say, just to make sure I understand, do you mean that? So, are you saying that? Could you explain that a little more? Sorry, I didn't catch that last part. Repeat them with me slowly. Just to make sure I understand. Do you mean that? So, are you saying that? Could you explain that a little more? Sorry, I didn't catch that last part. Perfect. These are natural, confident, and very common in everyday English. Now, let's do a confidence affirmation before we close. Repeat after me. I stay calm in every English conversation. I speak clearly, even when I'm nervous. I listen, understand, and respond with confidence. I am improving every single day. Beautiful. And this is where everything starts coming together. You've learned how to stay calm, how to handle difficult conversations, and how to use natural English in real situations. Now it's time to take that next big step, learning to express your own opinions naturally, clearly, and confidently. Fluency isn't just about speaking fast. True fluency means you can express your thoughts in a way that feels natural, emotional, and real. So in this part, we're going to work on expressing opinions, agreeing and disagreeing with confidence, and improving your rhythm and tone so your English flows beautifully. Let's get started. First, let's talk about the most common way to share your opinion. You probably already know the phrase, I think, but fluent speakers use many other ways to say it, and each one has a slightly different feeling. Listen and repeat after me. I believe that. I feel that. In my opinion. From my point of view, to me, it seems like, if you ask me, now let's practice shadowing. Repeat after me with a natural tone. I believe that. I feel that. In my opinion, from my point of view, to me, it seems like, if you ask me, very good. These are all polite, natural, and flexible. You can use them in any situation at school, at work, or just chatting with friends. Here's a short example. I believe that practice is the key to fluency. In my opinion, confidence grows with time. If you ask me, listening is just as important as speaking. Now you try saying them aloud. Next, let's learn to agree naturally. Instead of only saying, I agree, native speakers use different ways to sound more fluent and expressive. Repeat after me. You're right. I totally agree with you. That's true. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. You've got a point there. Let's practice a mini dialogue together. A. Confidence comes from practice, not from perfection. B. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. That sounds real, right? Now try it again with your own voice. Feel the rhythm, the connection, the flow. Now, what about when you don't agree completely? In English, it's important to sound polite and calm, even when you disagree. Here are some natural ways to do that. I see what you mean, but I think that's a good point, though I have a different opinion. I understand, but I'm not sure I agree. You may be right, but I see it another way. I get your point, but I'd like to add something. Repeat after me slowly. I see what you mean, but I think that's a good point, though I have a different opinion. I understand, but I'm not sure I agree. You may be right, but I see it another way. I get your point, but I'd like to add something. Now, let's use one of them in context. A. I think grammar is the most important thing to study. B. I see what you mean, but I think speaking practice is just as important. That's perfect, respectful, calm, and confident. Let's go a little deeper. To sound more fluent, you need rhythm, the natural music of English. Native speakers don't speak every word with the same speed or stress. They stretch some words, shorten others, and use tone to show emotion. For example, listen to the difference. I think speaking English is fun, flat, robotic, versus I think speaking English is fun, natural, emotional. Try it with me. I think speaking English is fun, good. Feel that energy. The voice rises when you feel excited. It falls when you want to sound serious. Let's try another one. I believe confidence comes with practice. Now again, slowly and clearly. I believe confidence comes with practice. Excellent. That rhythm, that natural stress is what makes English beautiful to listen to. Let's now practice expressing emotion through your tone. Say this sentence, I'm so proud of myself. If you say it softly, it sounds calm. If you say it with energy, it sounds excited. If you say it slowly, it sounds emotional. Try all three ways right now. Softly, energetically, slowly. You see, your voice can show your feeling even before the words do. That's part of sounding fluent and alive in English. Let's do a short fluency challenge. I'll give you a sentence. You repeat it with emotion, clarity, and confidence. Ready? I can express myself in English. I can speak clearly and naturally. My English is getting better every day. I enjoy speaking with confidence. I'm proud of how far I've come. Say them again, a little faster this time, like you're truly feeling it. I can express myself in English. I can speak clearly and naturally. My English is getting better every day. I enjoy speaking with confidence. I'm proud of how far I've come. That's it. That's the energy of a confident speaker. Now let's connect everything with a realistic conversation. A. Do you enjoy speaking English? B. I do. I believe it helps me connect with people from around the world. A. That's true. I feel more confident when I can share my ideas in English. B. Exactly. Practice makes me feel free to express myself. That's natural, emotional, and fluent, the kind of English that builds connection. Here's a question for you. What's one English phrase that makes you feel confident when you speak? Tell me in the comments below. I'd love to read your answers. And if you're enjoying this fluency journey, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Ms. Fhuang English. It helps us grow and keeps new lessons coming every week. Before we finish part 10, let's take a moment to reflect. Speaking English confidently isn't about being perfect. It's about being brave. It's about showing up, opening your mouth, and expressing your thoughts even if you make mistakes. So repeat after me. One more time. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to keep going. I speak with confidence. I speak with heart. That's your new mindset. The final part of our fluency journey together. And I want to say this first. I am so proud of you. If you're here, it means you've listened, practiced, and believed in yourself. That already makes you a confident English speaker, not because you're perfect, but because you've kept going. In this final session, we're going to bring everything together: the pronunciation, the rhythm, the confidence, and most importantly, the mindset. Because fluency isn't just about knowing words. It's about believing in your voice. It's about communicating with heart and courage. So today, let's take one final deep breath together. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's begin. Let's start with the truth. Everyone who speaks English confidently now once felt nervous, unsure, and even scared. Maybe they were afraid of making mistakes. Maybe they thought their accent was bad. Maybe they felt too shy to speak. Does that sound like you sometimes? If it does, that's completely okay. Because every confident speaker you've ever heard started right where you are now. They didn't stop when they made mistakes, they learned from them. They didn't hide their accent, they embraced it. They didn't wait for the perfect moment, they started speaking anyway. And that's what I want you to remember as we finish this journey together. You already have everything you need to speak English confidently. You just need to trust yourself, one word at a time. Now, let's move into a real-life fluency practice. Imagine this. You're meeting someone new, maybe at work, at school, or while traveling. You want to sound friendly and natural. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Hi, it's nice to meet you. Where are you from? That's interesting. I've always wanted to visit there. What do you do? Oh, that sounds cool. Now, let's connect those sentences into a short, natural conversation. A. Hi, it's nice to meet you. B. Nice to meet you too. Where are you from? A. I'm from Vietnam. How about you? B. I'm from the U.S. Oh, Vietnam sounds beautiful. I've always wanted to visit. A. You should. The food is amazing. That's it, simple, natural, and real. The goal isn't to sound like a textbook. It's to sound like you real, human, and confident. Now, let's practice expressing emotions again. This time we'll focus on tone. Say these sentences after me. Feel the emotion behind each one. I'm so happy with my progress. I can speak English more naturally every day. I'm not afraid to make mistakes anymore. I love learning English. I'm proud of how far I've come. Now, say them again louder, stronger, with confidence. I'm so happy with my progress. I can speak English more naturally every day. I'm not afraid to make mistakes anymore. I love learning English. I'm proud of how far I've come. Perfect. That's your English power voice. That's the sound of someone who speaks with confidence and pride. Let's talk about one more thing before we close. The mindset of a fluent speaker. Fluent speakers don't worry about being perfect. They focus on connection. They listen carefully. They think before they speak. They smile, they relax, and they enjoy the conversation. So next time you speak English, remember this. Don't rush. Don't overthink. Just breathe, listen, and speak. Say this with me slowly. I listen, I breathe, I speak. That's it. That's the rhythm of confidence. Let's do one final fluency challenge together, a short self-affirmation exercise to lock in your new confidence. Repeat after me with feeling. I speak English with confidence. My voice is clear and strong. I communicate with ease and positivity. I am improving every single day. I am proud of my English journey. Say it one more time, and this time, smile as you say it. I speak English with confidence. My voice is clear and strong. I communicate with ease and positivity. I am improving every single day. I am proud of my English journey. That's beautiful. That's the sound of growth. Now, before we end, I want to give you a small piece of advice that I give to all my students. Never stop speaking. Even when you're alone, talk to yourself in English. Describe what you're doing. Practice shadowing the sounds you hear in movies, songs, and podcasts. You don't need to be in an English-speaking country to become fluent. You just need daily practice, curiosity, and courage. If you keep showing up one video, one lesson, one sentence at a time, your English will keep getting stronger. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what part of this fluency challenge helped you the most? Was it the shadowing practice, the daily expressions, or maybe the confidence mindset? I read every comment, and I love seeing how far you've come. If you enjoyed this full series, please like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Ms. Fluent English so you never miss a new lesson. Your support helps this channel grow and helps more learners around the world speak confidently, just like you. Let's finish with one last practice together, your final affirmation. Say it proudly. I can speak English confidently. I can share my ideas clearly. I can connect with people in English. I am confident, capable, and ready for more. That's the truth. And from this moment on, I want you to believe it completely. You don't have to wait until you're perfect to speak English. You speak, and through speaking, you become fluent. Thank you so much for joining me on this 11-part journey of Speak English Confidently. You've worked hard, you've practiced, and you've grown, and that deserves to be celebrated. Keep learning, keep smiling, and keep speaking, because your voice matters in English and in every language you use to express yourself. This is Ms. Fluent from Ms. Fluent English, saying, stay confident, stay curious, and keep shining. I'll see you in the next lesson, and remember, your English journey has only just begun.